You ever notice that life doesn't wait until you're ready to hit you? You finally start getting ahead and boom, job loss, medical bill, car accident. It doesn't matter how much you make. If you don't have a safety net, one bad month can knock you back years. I'm Vladimir Nemchinov. I went from zero to $600,000 in 11 years, mostly through real estate. And now I'm growing my net worth through retirement investing. And I want to show you how to protect everything you've worked for by building a real emergency fund that buys you freedom, not fear. Most people never make it past the first $1,000. They stop there because saving more feels impossible. But level 5 of the wealth game is where financial security becomes real, when you save 3 to 6 months of living expenses. That's not a suggestion. That's a requirement if you ever want to stop living in panic mode. Here's the truth. If you lost your job tomorrow, how long could you survive before your savings ran out? A week? A month? Because right now, more than half of Americans couldn't handle a $1,000 emergency, let alone 3 months of bills. And the news isn't helping. A new report from CNBC shows that job cuts are rising again across multiple industries, and credit card debt just hit an all-time high. That means people aren't saving, they're borrowing to survive. But not you. You're building differently. You're building a wall between yourself and chaos. So how much do you actually need? The rule is simple: 3 to 6 months of living expenses. If you have a stable job and consistent income, aim for 3 months. If your income is variable or you have kids, aim for 6. Now here's the most common question from Reddit. How do I save that much when I'm barely covering bills? The answer is one word: strategy. You don't save it overnight. You save it on purpose. Start by breaking it down. If your goal is $9,000, that's $750 a month for a year, or $375 a month for 2 years. When you chunk it down, it stops feeling impossible. The second question people ask is, where should I keep it? Not in stocks, not in crypto, not in your checking account. You want it in a high-yield savings account, something safe, liquid, and separate from your daily spending. You're not trying to grow this money, you're trying to guard it. The third question, what if I need to use it? That's the point. You use it when life punches you in the face. The key is to replenish it afterward. You want that account full again before you move on to investing. Think of your emergency fund as your financial oxygen tank. You hope you never need it, but when the air gets thin, it keeps you alive. Let me tell you about Carlos. He was making $70,000 a year, working steady hours, doing fine, then the company downsized. They gave him 2 weeks notice, but Carlos wasn't panicking. He'd built a 5-month emergency fund. He took time to find the right job instead of the first job. He didn't go into debt. He didn't stress about groceries. He told me later that savings didn't just save my money, it saved my sanity. That's what this level gives you: peace, options, time, freedom. Without it, every little setback becomes a crisis. Every broken appliance feels like the end of the world. With it, you can breathe. You can think. You can plan instead of panic. Now here's the reality. This step takes patience. You'll be tempted to skip ahead to investing. Don't. You can't invest confidently if you're one emergency away from pulling that money back out. Wealth isn't built on risk, it's built on resilience. You might be thinking, what if inflation eats into my savings? Good question. But losing a few dollars of value is nothing compared to losing your financial security. You don't build an emergency fund for growth, you build it for stability. So here's what to do. Calculate your average monthly expenses: rent, food, utilities, insurance, transportation. Multiply by 3 to 6. That's your target. Open a separate savings account just for emergencies. Set up an automatic transfer every payday, even if it's just $50. Every bonus, every tax refund, every side hustle dollar, send it there. And if you're starting from zero, start small. Your first milestone is $1,000. Then 1 month of expenses, then 2, then 3. Stack it up like armor. The goal isn't to get rich quick, it's to never be scared again. Because the truth is, bad things will happen. The question is whether you'll be ready when they do. When you hit this level, everything about your money changes. You stop living reactive. You stop depending on luck. You start feeling unstoppable. You'll have the confidence to invest, to take risks, to breathe easy, because your foundation is rock solid. And if you want help building your emergency fund faster, figuring out how much you need, how to automate it, and where to keep it safe, fill out the client assessment form. The link's in the description below. We'll map it out together and make sure you're protected no matter what happens next. Invest steady. Compound your net worth.